Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Podish. I'm Emma, and today we're diving into a topic that almost everyone struggles with at some point in their life: how to talk to anyone fluently. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to say something, but the words just got stuck? Maybe you felt nervous, maybe your mind went blank, or maybe you thought, what if I make a mistake and sound silly? Well, you're not alone. More than 70% of adults admit they feel nervous when speaking to new people. But here's the secret. Fluent conversation is not about speaking perfect English or knowing fancy words. It's about confidence, connection, and being present in the moment. So over the next hour, I'm going to take you step by step through the skills, the mindset, and the little tricks that will help you talk to anyone fluently. Whether it's your boss, a stranger, or even someone you admire. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, relax, and let's start this journey together. Fluency begins in your mind, not your mouth. Think about children. They speak fluently long before they learn grammar rules. Why? Because they're not afraid of mistakes. They simply speak, and people understand them. Adults, on the other hand, often get trapped in overthinking. So the first step is this: stop aiming for perfection and start aiming for connection. Let's do a quick exercise. Imagine you're meeting someone new. Instead of thinking, what if I say something wrong? Switch your thought to, I'm curious about this person. What can I learn from them? When you focus on curiosity instead of correctness, conversations flow naturally. Remember this golden rule. People don't remember your grammar. They remember how you made them feel. So, take a deep breath, drop the fear, and tell yourself, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be present. This mindset alone can transform the way you talk to anyone. Now let's talk about the hardest part: starting a conversation. Think about how many times you've wanted to say something, but the silence felt heavy. The truth is, most people are just waiting for someone to break the ice. And that someone can be you. Here are a few simple openers you can use. Compliment. I like your perspective on that. Question. How was your weekend? Observation. This cafe has such a nice vibe, don't you think? Notice something? These are simple, natural, and friendly. You don't need clever lines, you just need to sound approachable. Another tip. Use someone's name. People love hearing their own name. Instead of saying, Hi, how are you? Say, Hi, Sarah. How are you? That one little word builds instant connection. And here's a bonus trick. If you're shy, start by asking questions about the other person. People love to talk about themselves. You can begin with, What do you do? How did you get into that field? What do you enjoy the most about it? Remember, starting small is better than not starting at all. Part 3. Listening like a pro. 10 minutes. Now, let's move to the heart of conversation. Listening. Have you ever talked to someone who kept interrupting, checking their phone, or looking around? How did that make you feel? Probably unimportant. On the other hand, when someone really listens, it feels amazing. That's why the secret to talking fluently is often listening fluently. Here are some tips. Nod and use small words like, I see, interesting, really, to show you're engaged. Paraphrase what they said. So what you're saying is, avoid yes/no questions. Instead of, do you like movies? Ask, what kind of movies do you enjoy? Here's something powerful. People will often say, "Wow, you're such a great speaker," when in reality, you just listened deeply. Because conversation is not a speech, it's an exchange. So the more you listen, the more fluent you will feel in any conversation. Have you noticed how some conversations feel effortless like a river flowing, while others feel like climbing a mountain? The difference is in transitions. To keep a conversation flowing, you need connectors. Try using phrases like, "That reminds me of," "Speaking of that," "By the way." These little bridges make the talk natural. Here's an example. Person A: "I just came back from Italy." You: "Italy? That reminds me of my trip to Spain. Have you been there?" See? Instead of stopping the flow, you carried it forward. Remember, conversation is like tennis. Don't hold the ball too long, hit it back. That's how you keep the game going. Part 5, Vocabulary that Works, 10 minutes. Let's clear up a big myth. You don't need complicated vocabulary to sound fluent. In fact, using everyday phrases makes you sound more natural. Here are some power phrases. "That's interesting. Tell me more." "I totally get what you mean." "Wow, I never thought of it that way." "What do you think about?" These simple expressions show interest and invite deeper conversation. And remember, fluency isn't about big words. It's about the right words at the right time. Now let's talk about the unspoken part of conversation. Body language. Studies show that 70% of communication is nonverbal. That means your tone, your eyes, your posture often speak louder than your words. Here are quick tips. Maintain natural eye contact. Smile. It makes you instantly approachable. Use hand gestures moderately. Speak slightly slower. It gives you authority. And here's the best part. Even if your words are simple, your confident body language will make you appear fluent. So next time, straighten your back, look the person in the eye, smile, and speak calmly. Watch how differently people respond. So, let's recap. Talking fluently to anyone is not about memorizing vocabulary or being perfect. It's about shifting your mindset, using simple openers, listening more than you speak, creating flow with connectors, using natural vocabulary, and backing it all up with confident body language. If you practice these steps daily, you'll notice a huge difference in just a few weeks. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. Every person you meet is a new story, a new lesson, and a new opportunity. Don't let fear hold you back. And here's your action step. This week, start one conversation every day. It can be with a colleague, a stranger, or even the shopkeeper. Start small, but start. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'm Emma, and this was Podish. If you found value in this episode, share it with a friend who wants to grow too. And don't forget to join me next time. I'll share 5 magic sentences you can use in any conversation to sound instantly confident. Until then, remember, you don't have to be perfect to connect. You just have to be present.